Hello everybody, and welcome back to Symbiotic Vibration. You'll know by the title that I want to speak about anxiety today. I have a track record with anxiety and I'd love to speak about it. That right there was my little anxiety release boogie, and we'll get back to that in a little while. So, if you're new here, welcome to Symbiotic Vibration. I'm Evan. I make lots of videos trying to help people with my own experience. I had a brain tumour when I was younger, and I won't go talking about it in too much detail. You can go back through my videos if you need to know more. But essentially, with relation to anxiety, my brain tumour was disrupting my autonomic nervous system. Excuse me, I got a brain fart there. My autonomic nervous system, and your heartbeat is involved in that. So anything that's happening automatically in your body, in your nervous system that you're not aware of, like your eyes watering, like breathing, and like your heartbeat. So my heartbeat was disrupted. I had really bad arrhythmia at the time, and I would have a skipped beat maybe every 30 seconds or so. And every time this would happen, I would think I was about to have a heart attack. Now, this would happen all day, every day. I would wake up all night, literally every couple of minutes, thinking I was dying, heart would be accelerating. And this went on for years. And then eventually I would have brain surgery, and my heartbeat persisted to skip in the beginning, which I was always very scared of. And now you have to add in the complex trauma that I had experienced with having a brain tumour and brain surgery. So there's a lot of fear of brain tumour coming back. There's a lot of fear of death within me, as well as the heart. And so I'm filled with anxiety at this point, and I'm living in fight or flight mode, a sympathetic state of mind. My nervous system was constantly engaged and ready to for battle. So I experienced a lot of panic and a lot of anxiety for many, many years. So if you're watching this and you're somebody who's also dealing with anxiety right now, just know that it's normal and it's part of the human experience, and it's okay. There's absolutely no shame in it. And hopefully me expressing what I've been going through throughout my last decade or so will help you to feel normal. And I can tell you this, I promise you, if you continue watching this to the end, I will most certainly help you with regards to your anxiety and your panic, because what we're going to do here is we're going to contextualize what anxiety actually is, what the panic attack actually is, and then start to understand how to develop a pattern recognition to understand what it is that's bringing you into this state of panic. And over time, by using these methods and these skills that I will be providing to you, I have no doubt that you will be able to not conquer it because it's a part of you, but you will most certainly be able to navigate it much better. And I'm going to use a very recent example. I haven't had a panic attack in years until literally the other day. I have had bouts of anxiety, but not an actual full-on attack. And so it happened again the other day. And yeah, it was interesting because I've done so much work on it. It took me a couple of minutes to get through it. So I suppose that's enough of my track record history. Let me give you that recent event, and then we'll talk about what anxiety actually is, and we'll contextualize it, and then you'll be able to understand how I dealt with it so easily. So I was walking an 80-kilometer race the other day. The vlog is my last video. You can go watch that if you want. I spoke about the panic at the very end, but I'll go into it in more detail right now. So basically, I was about 60 kilometers through and feeling very fresh all the way through until this point. And basically, my two top abdominal muscles started to cramp. So I was obviously lacking in salt or maybe some hydration, and also my body's just not used to walking those distances, so my core was engaged for 60 kilometers straight, and at this point my abs are starting to cramp. But I'm confused because I'm so tired, so I actually think that's my heart muscle and not my abdominal muscles, and immediately into fight or flight mode I go. I start to think, okay, I'm having a heart attack right now, and I'm walking 60 kilometers or 80 kilometers next to a guy who I'm walking with who barely knows me, and I'm embarrassed. You know, I'm feeling a little bit embarrassed. I hope this goes away. I don't really want to have to express this to that person, but it just got worse and worse and worse to a point where I could feel my heart fluttering, and I was like, oh my God, is this actually a heart attack? So at that point, I sat down and I actually expressed it, which I'll get into now. So what I do during a panic attack now is start to understand what it is. I've contextualized what's actually happening to my body and my nervous system at that point in my mind. So I'm able to talk myself out real fast. But in the past, I would end up in A&E for 6 hours thinking I was having a heart attack. I was rushed out of a pizza shop before, mid-order. My pizzas were still cooking and I was rushed out by a stranger who just looked at me with my hand on my chest about to drop. He brought me to A&E, 6 hours, nothing wrong with me, just a panic attack, and released back out into the wild. And yeah, I hope that makes this feel normal for you. But anyway, let's talk about what anxiety actually is. So, it's a primal mechanism, it's a primal tool. It's built into us, and it has been since the dawn of our species, and it protects us. It's a beautiful thing, and it's a part of human experience. Only some of us are very sensitive, hypersensitive people that have existential crisis, that are traumatically enhanced, and yeah, I'm one of them. And so I'm hypersensitive to all stimulants, I'm hypersensitive to my own mind, and it's easy for me to sway up and down like a yo-yo in through parasympathetic and sympathetic states of mind into relaxed states and into more fight or flight states. So I have to be very vigilant with it. And essentially what's happening is your body is reacting to something within your mind. Now, if we were to take it back to a couple of 100 years ago and I was sitting on this very bench and a wolf came up from behind me, which there was in Ireland at that time, perhaps a little bit before that, but a wolf comes up behind me, I turn around, immediately my amygdala bypasses my emotional brain, my logical brain, and it starts to flood my body with chemicals like cortisol and adrenaline, because I'm now preparing to fight this wolf or run away. And so what's happening there is when the adrenaline is filling and the cortisol is filling, we become very hyper aware of everything around us, in our mind and all around us. Our breath becomes quite short, the blood starts to pump through our body, so our heartbeat is rapid and our bodies are completely tensed and ready to fight or ready to run. And this is a pure normal thing, and it would save your life in a situation like that perhaps. But fast forward to nowadays, you're sitting here on this very tree stump and you start to have a memory of an experience you had when you had a brain tumour and your heart used to be always in arrhythmia, and then that memory spikes this response in your body and you now think that you're having a heart attack. And this is the exact same mechanism that would happen when the wolf is coming from behind you, only it's a response to your actual mind and a memory or a response to something that's happening in the present. Perhaps it's a relationship that you're going through and you've been told that this person isn't feeling comfortable in the relationship anymore, and straight away you're feeling danger and you're having this panic attack again. And so once we start to understand that this is a mechanism of safety within us, it's easier for us to deal with it at the time. And I would always tell you this: if you're having a panic attack, you need to try and understand that there's a wolf at the door and the wolf is your mind. So let's go through protocol, okay? I'm going to stand up for this one and then sit back down. So protocol, this is you. You're out walking, something happens, and suddenly you start to feel a state of panic. You start to feel this existential crisis. You start to feel like you're about to die. It's terrifying. Your heart is going really fast and you're short of breath, and this is it. It's over, it's over, it's over. Okay, firstly, you're going to have to tell somebody immediately. So if there's anybody in your surroundings, whether they're a friend or not, you need to tell them immediately that you're having a panic attack or you feel like there's something wrong with you. The reason for is because expressing it will help you. And don't worry about the shame. It's a human experience. We all go through it and we should normalize it. That's why I'm making this video. You sit down, you tell that person that you're about to have a panic attack or a heart attack or something. Just you need some help. You need someone to be there. If there's no one around, give somebody a phone call that you love immediately and tell them that this is what's happening to you. Tell them your location and just tell them to hang on there with you and talk away through the experience. Okay? So while this is happening, we're going to sit down like I am and we're going to have our legs up. The reason being, we're going to tell our body we don't need to run. We're going to stop the blood from drawing down into our legs and our muscles from tensing up, because it will help us to relax. Then we're sitting down. We're going to take our hands is what I do, these beautiful conductors of light and electricity. I'm going to place that on my chest and I'm going to tell my heart and tell my body that it's safe, that everything is okay. And I'm going to rub it, I'm going to calm it down as if you had a child and you were rubbing its back, soothing it. So I'm going to be constantly telling, either vocally or in my head, it's okay. It's okay. We know what's happening. We're calm. We're breathing. It's okay. You're safe. You're safe. You're safe. Then we're going to start this breath. I've done it before in a past video about stomach gripping. If you want to watch that, I'll put it up right here. We're going to let our stomachs fully distended. Don't worry about who sees it. You can have your top down or up. It doesn't matter. I usually pull mine up. And then I'm letting my stomach out fully. from the side angle, you know, we've done this before. It's fully out. Don't be afraid of the bloat. While it's out, it allows our lungs to breathe correctly. So then we're going to mimic crying. I did this in that video as well. If you want the longer version, go watch it. We're going to mimic crying with our breath. And the reason is because it allows us to release endorphins that will calm us down, and it will allow us to access a parasympathetic state of mind rather than being in flight or flight mode. So the breath goes like this. We'll take in one big long breath, and then we will take a couple of short ones at the top to mimic that crying. And then we're going to leave it out as slow as we possibly can. Now, if you're having a panic attack, this might be a little bit difficult in the beginning, but just persist with it. And then eventually you will start to relax, and you'll feel more and more oxygen coming in, and you'll feel your body start to calm. So, and already I feel a little bit calmer than I already did there. I'm a little bit hyped today because I've just got a day off after a long period of time, and there's a lot of midgets biting me, so I'm in a bit of a rush with this video. But anyway, we will maintain this type of breath over and over again while that person is next to us, while we're on the phone to someone, while we're holding our heart and we're telling our bodies that they're safe. This could go on for 30 minutes, it could go on for an hour, it could go on for 5 minutes. There is no time, and you're not in any rush here, because really you need to be relaxed before you get back up and get back into your activities, no matter where you are. But eventually you will find yourself back down into a parasympathetic state. You'll find yourself relaxing and becoming more and more comfortable within your state, your current state of being. Once that happens, you will have an adrenaline dump, and you will be tired and you will be hungry, and that's okay. So most likely your best bet right then is to probably go and rest and relax and give yourself some credit for getting through what you just got through. And back to what I was doing at the start, this dance, this boogie, this adrenaline dumping shake is basically a way to have a bit of fun, but also to release that tension and release that energy. So we're going to put some meaning behind it. The idea is I'm going to release all of this energy right now, this trapped energy that I've had all over me that has been causing this trauma. I'm going to release it back into the atmosphere with love and with light. And I'm going to keep shaking, and I'm going to keep boogieing, and I'm going to keep doing it. And it's fun, and you'll have a laugh, and whoever's around you might do it with you, and it might make it a little bit more fun. And then when it's time to relax and you've gotten home, it's a very, very good idea to start to understand the patterns. So to record what it is that caused the panic attack. For me, it's a fear of a heart attack. I know what it is. It always is. It's always a heart attack with me. And this goes back to my family history. This goes back to my surgery, and also the arrhythmia with my heart while I was ill. And so the constant fear, and that fear traps in your body. I talk about this all the time. And so it's your job then to recognize the patterns and start to try to release this stuff. And more often than not, it's a big cry that will help to release a lot of that fear. And when I'm having a panic attack, more often than not, I am going to have a very long cry, either during or after it, which will eventually stop it. The reason why we're building these patterns is so that we can build a network and a map of what it is that's actually causing us to have these traumas. This could be anything, and I'm not going to get too deeply into it now, but I already mentioned it. It could be a relationship thing, it could be an abandonment wound, it could be your heart, it could be family history, it could be something you saw on telly when you were younger that gives you a fright still. It could be a childhood traumatic experience, we don't know. But the important thing is that we start to record the patterns, we start to write them down. And we start to deal with them, we start to talk about them. Maybe you need professional help, perhaps you need to talk about it with your partner or your loved ones and whatnot. And eventually, I can promise you that years and years and years down the line, it gets easier and easier and easier to deal with, because you're contextualizing what's actually happening here. And it's actually a normal experience. It's your body trying to protect itself, which is great, but it's protecting itself from trauma, which you need to deal with. And so that's the idea of what I do here at Symbiotic Vibration. I try to help people deal with their own trauma through my own human experience, and I try to let them know that it's okay, it's normal, and yeah, you're beautiful and you're amazing. And thanks for being here. If you watched all of this video, I really appreciate that. I'm very itchy, so I'm going to finish up right now because I don't want any more midget bites. I've had enough of them today. But yeah, I just wanted to let you know that this is a very normal experience. This is the human experience. Navigating this world is extremely difficult, as we all know. And it's full of traumatic experience that gets stored within our bodies, our minds and our hearts and our souls. And sometimes they trigger trauma responses and trigger panic. And that's okay. If you are a very sensitive person like me, this is a normal experience and it gets easier with time. I can promise you that. So yeah, follow along the routine that I just explored there. And if I've missed anything or you have any more questions, do let me know in the comment section. If you would love to subscribe, that would make me really happy. We're gunning towards 400 now, and you know, we're just getting started with symbiotic vibrations. So the more the merrier. Come along for the ride. I love you all. Goodbye.